Ladies, have you noticed that your digestive system seems to have a mind of its own lately? Maybe you're avoiding social gatherings because you're worried about unexpected gas, or you've started blaming it on just getting older. Perhaps you've even started planning your day around when and where you'll feel comfortable. Well, I'm here to tell you something important today. Welcome to Elderly Health Central, and I've been talking with doctors and nutritionists about this exact issue that so many of us are dealing with. And trust me, you are definitely not alone in this. Here's the truth: excessive flatulence isn't just an embarrassing inconvenience, it's often your body's way of telling you that something needs attention. And the good news? Most of the time, it's completely fixable once you know what mistakes to avoid. The even better news? These fixes are usually simple changes you can start implementing today. Today, I'm sharing 6 silent mistakes that doctors say are the most common culprits behind increased gas in senior women. These aren't the obvious things like eating beans or broccoli that everyone talks about. These are subtle habits that many of us develop thinking we're being healthy or just adapting to our changing bodies. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what changes to make starting tomorrow to feel more comfortable and confident again. If you've been dealing with this issue and thought you were alone, comment "Me too" below. You'll be surprised how many of us are in the same boat. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for Elderly Health Central, because we're building a community where we can talk honestly about the health challenges that actually matter to us. Alright, let's dive into these 6 mistakes that might be causing your discomfort. Mistake number 1, taking multiple supplements together on an empty stomach. Let me tell you about Dorothy, a 68-year-old who contacted me last month. She started her morning routine with calcium, vitamin D, a fiber supplement, and probiotics, all at once, with just her morning coffee. She thought she was being health-conscious and efficient, getting all her health tasks done first thing. But by 10 a.m. every day, she was already uncomfortable and gassy, and she couldn't figure out why. Here's what's happening: when you take multiple supplements simultaneously, especially on an empty stomach, your digestive system gets overwhelmed. Think of it like trying to process 5 different conversations at once. Your brain would struggle, and so does your gut. Calcium and iron compete for absorption pathways. Fiber supplements can ferment rapidly without proper food to slow the process down, and probiotics create temporary gas as they establish themselves in your gut environment. What makes this even more challenging is that as we age, our stomach acid production decreases, which means we need more support to break down and absorb nutrients, not less. Many women think more is better, and that taking everything at once is more convenient. I completely get it. Who wants to remember to take pills 5 times a day? But your digestive system in your 60s and beyond processes things very differently than it did in your 30s. It needs more time and more support to handle the workload. Here's what to do instead: space your supplements throughout the day. Take calcium with meals, especially lunch or dinner when you have more substantial food to help with absorption. Take your fiber supplement with plenty of water about 2 hours after eating, not before. And start probiotics gradually, maybe just 2 or 3 times a week initially, then build up over several weeks. Your body will thank you for this gentler, more thoughtful approach. And speaking of eating habits, our next mistake involves something Dorothy also struggled with: how quickly we eat our meals. Mistake number 2, eating too quickly due to dental discomfort. Sarah, a 71-year-old grandmother, noticed she was practically swallowing her food whole because chewing had become uncomfortable with her new dentures. She thought she was just being efficient and saving time, but she was actually creating what I call a gas factory in her stomach. Here's the science: when we don't chew properly, larger food particles reach our intestines where bacteria have to work overtime to break them down. This extra bacterial activity creates excess gas. Plus, eating quickly means swallowing more air with each bite, and that air has to come out somehow, usually as gas. Many seniors think dental issues are just something to deal with, and adapt their eating habits accordingly. But this adaptation often creates bigger digestive problems than the original dental issue. Here's my advice. First, work with your dentist to address any comfort issues with dentures or dental work. Don't just suffer through it. In the meantime, cut your food into smaller pieces before you even start eating. Take smaller bites, and here's the key: put your fork down between bites. Aim for 20 to 30 chews per bite. Yes, it sounds like a lot, but your digestive system will love you for it. Make mealtime a relaxation period, not a race. Your food will taste better, and your stomach will feel much more comfortable. Now, while we're talking about what goes into our mouths, let's discuss a well-meaning mistake that many women make when trying to help their digestion. Mistake number 3: drinking carbonated water to aid digestion. Margaret read an article about staying hydrated to help digestion, so she switched from regular water to sparkling water with her meals. She even thought the bubbles might help break down her food better, kind of like a natural digestive aid. 3 weeks later, she was more gassy than she'd ever been. Here's what's really happening: carbonated beverages introduce carbon dioxide gas directly into your digestive system. When you're younger, your body is pretty efficient at processing and expelling these gases. But as we age, everything slows down, including our ability to handle those bubbles. What might have been perfectly fine in your 40s can become really problematic in your 60s and 70s. Many people believe carbonated water is a healthier way to stay hydrated and might even aid digestion. While it's certainly better than sugary sodas, those bubbles can accumulate in sensitive digestive systems like traffic in a construction zone. Here's the simple fix: switch to still water with meals and save any carbonated drinks for occasional treats between meals, not during. If you really miss that fizzy sensation, try adding fresh lemon slices, cucumber, or mint leaves to plain water. You'll get flavor and refreshment without the gas buildup. This next mistake is particularly tricky because it involves something doctors often recommend, but timing and approach are everything. Mistake number 4: avoiding fiber completely to prevent digestive issues. Linda experienced some digestive discomfort a few months ago, so she decided to eliminate all high-fiber foods from her diet. No more beans, whole grains, or raw vegetables. She felt better initially and thought she'd solved the problem. But within a month, she was more constipated and gassy than she'd ever been before. Here's why this backfired: fiber is absolutely essential for healthy digestion, but sudden elimination disrupts the delicate balance of bacteria in your gut. Think of your gut bacteria like a garden; they need consistent fiber to thrive. When you suddenly cut off their food source, they basically go dormant. Then, when you finally do eat fiber again, your unprepared system overreacts. Plus, lack of fiber slows everything down in your digestive tract, creating a backup that leads to even more gas when things finally start moving again. Many seniors think that avoiding difficult foods will solve digestive problems. I understand the logic, but complete avoidance often makes the problem much worse in the long run. Instead of eliminating fiber, introduce it gradually and consistently. Start with well-cooked vegetables like carrots or zucchini, then slowly add other sources over several weeks. Your gut bacteria need time to adjust; we're talking weeks, not days. Be patient with your body as it relearns how to process these important nutrients. Our next mistake involves a combination that seems completely innocent but can be particularly problematic for many senior women. Mistake number 5: taking medications with dairy when lactose sensitivity develops. Every morning for 15 years, Helen took her blood pressure medication with a glass of milk, thinking it would protect her stomach lining. She had drunk milk her whole life without any problems, so when she started experiencing afternoon gas and bloating, she never connected it to her morning routine. Here's what Helen didn't know: lactose intolerance often develops or worsens with age as our bodies produce less of the lactase enzyme needed to digest milk sugar. When you combine this natural decline with medications that can already affect digestion, you're creating what I call a perfect storm for gas production. Many women assume that if they've never been lactose intolerant before, they never will be. But our digestive systems change significantly as we age. What worked perfectly for decades might suddenly stop working, and it can be really confusing when it happens. Here's what to try. Take your medications with plain water or a lactose-free alternative for 2 weeks and see if your symptoms improve. Keep a simple diary, just note how you feel each afternoon. If you really miss dairy, try small amounts of hard cheeses like aged cheddar or yogurt with live cultures, which are often much better tolerated than regular milk. Our final mistake involves timing, and it's something that can affect your sleep as much as your digestive comfort. Mistake number 6. Eating large meals late in the evening. Ruth and her husband had always enjoyed their main meal together when he got home from work at 7 p.m. Even after retirement, they kept this tradition because it was their special time together. But lately, Ruth noticed she was uncomfortable and gassy all evening, and it was even affecting her ability to sleep well. Here's what's happening: as we age, our digestive systems slow down significantly, especially in the evening hours. It's like your digestive system has its own bedtime, and it wants to wind down much earlier than you might think. Large meals eaten close to bedtime don't get processed efficiently, leading to fermentation, gas production, and disrupted sleep patterns. Many couples maintain eating schedules from their working years without considering how their changing metabolism affects digestion. They think digestive discomfort is just part of aging, but it doesn't have to be. Here's my suggestion. Try making lunch your largest meal of the day and keeping dinner lighter and earlier, ideally finishing eating at least 3 hours before bedtime. If evening meals are important social time with your spouse or family, focus on smaller portions and easily digestible foods like soups, well-cooked vegetables, or lean proteins. You can still have that special time together without overloading your digestive system when it's trying to prepare for rest. Now, I want to address something important: the emotional side of dealing with these changes. I know that talking about gas and digestive issues can feel embarrassing, especially when it's affecting your social life or making you self-conscious. Many of you have written to me saying you've stopped going to church, book club, or family gatherings because you're worried about unexpected moments. Some of you have shared that you've started avoiding certain chairs or sitting in specific spots, always planning your escape route. I want you to know that you're not alone, and you're not broken. Your body isn't betraying you, it's communicating with you. Every symptom is information, and now you have the knowledge to respond appropriately. Instead of feeling helpless or embarrassed, you can take control of the situation. Here's something else I want you to remember: this isn't about your worth or your dignity as a person. These are normal bodily functions that sometimes get out of balance, and there's no shame in addressing them head-on. You wouldn't be embarrassed to treat a headache or a sore knee, so don't be embarrassed about treating digestive discomfort. I challenge you to pick just one of these mistakes that really resonated with you and make that change this week. Don't try to fix everything at once. Your digestive system needs time to adjust to positive changes too. Be patient and gentle with yourself. Give each change at least 2 weeks to see results. Remember, these changes don't mean you're falling apart, they mean you're learning to care for your body in a new phase of life. And that's something to be proud of, not ashamed of. You deserve to feel comfortable and confident in your own body, and you deserve to enjoy social activities without worry. Let me quickly recap these 6 mistakes. Taking multiple supplements together on an empty stomach, eating too quickly due to dental issues, choosing carbonated over still water, avoiding fiber completely, taking medications with dairy when you've developed sensitivity, and eating large meals too late in the evening. 6 simple changes that can make a huge difference in how you feel every day. Now I really want to hear from you. Which of these mistakes surprised you the most? Or maybe you've discovered a different trigger that we didn't cover today. Share your experience in the comments because your story might help another woman who's struggling with the same issue. Don't be shy about it, we're all learning together here. I also want to know, have you tried any of these solutions before? Did they work for you? Sometimes what works for one person might need a slight adjustment for another, so your experience could be incredibly valuable for someone else watching. If this video helped you understand what's been happening with your body, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Elderly Health Central. Hit that notification bell too, because we're building a community where we can talk honestly about the health challenges that matter to us as we age. We cover topics that other channels might shy away from, but that real women in their 60s, 70s, and beyond actually deal with every day. And if you found this helpful, I'd love for you to share it with a friend who might be dealing with similar issues. Sometimes the best health advice comes from someone who understands what you're going through. Thank you for trusting me with this personal topic. Remember, knowledge is power, and you now have the power to feel more comfortable and confident. I'll see you in the next video, where we'll tackle another health topic that deserves honest conversation. Until then, be kind to yourself and your changing body, you deserve that kindness. Take care.